Hey everyone, welcome back to the Weekly Coder. I'm Chris, and I know I've been gone for a while, but as promised from my last video, we are starting a new series. The new series, as you might be able to tell from looking at the screen, because I know you all are very, very smart, is going to be Frogger. And it was down to this game and a couple of others. So the thing is that once we're done with this series, I've got a couple of other games lined up already. I haven't done a whole lot of research into those yet, but we will definitely be looking at some other games with some other mechanics. And I also thought about maybe throwing in a couple of other types of lessons here and there. And those are not just going to be about building games as much as they are about standard practice, how to do specific things in Unity with C# or C# in particular. Maybe looking at specific algorithms. One that I know I have lined up, and I may start posting in tandem with Frogger, is covering the A* algorithm. Let me not babble on for too long. The other, I do want to say one more thing. I mentioned a new channel that my brother and I are doing in the last video update. So what's going to happen is I'm going to let you guys know what that channel is. And I would very, very, very much appreciate it if you guys could go check it out, watch the first episode, which will be posted pretty much at the same time that this episode comes out. So once you watch this episode, you should be able to head on over to the new channel, and you'll be able to subscribe and click on that bell for notifications. The release schedule on that new channel is going to be crazy because we are going to release a new video every single day. The length of the videos that we're going to be releasing are going to be anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes each. So we're going to have 10 to 15 minute episodes. We're going to be releasing 24/7, 7 days a week, okay? So that's a pretty grueling pace of release. Doesn't leave a whole lot of time for editing, which we don't do to those videos. We basically just there's a little bit of editing. There's no cutting. Everything is there. Everything that you see there, nothing has been cut out. Everything is left in. But we do we have an editor, which is actually my daughter. She's going to school for video editing and production and things like that. So she's actually helping us out a lot with editing these videos. So what we do is we record the videos, we then ship them off to our editor. She then goes through and, adds a little bit of bling to them, right, to make them a little more funny. There's no cuts, like I said, no cuts. It's just, her edits thrown into a mix of the videos. We add a little intro, and then we upload the episode. So hopefully that all goes well. I hope you guys will enjoy those. I hope a lot of you will actually jump over to that channel and subscribe to that as well, because it's meant for more so entertainment, which is weird because programming isn't funny, but nevertheless, we actually find a way to laugh at ourselves watching these things. So I think you guys will think it's funny too. Maybe. If you're into programming, you probably will. So, with all that said, the channel is going to be called Code Scruffs. And Code Scruffs because the way that we write this code is not optimized. It's not efficient. It's fast. It's fast code. It just kind of it's put together to make things work. It's not looked at for optimization or anything like that. So basically, we get a problem, we find a solution, and we implement it as quickly as possible, without regard to optimization or anything like that. So it's scruffy code, and because our faces are always pretty much scruffy. We don't shave a lot, so we have scruffy faces. So there you go, Code Scruffs. The channel name is not yet on YouTube. Like you can't type in youtube.com/codescruffs because we are waiting for that 100 subscribers so that we can actually get that name. But for now, you can either search it on YouTube, I don't know if it'll come up yet, or you can just click on the link that I'll be posting down below in the description, and I'm going to flash it across the screen right about now. And you'll be able to just, grab that link and go to it. And like I said, if you guys could, subscribe, that would be awesome. I'd love to see all of you there and get some of your input. Maybe leave it in the comments of the first episode. Kind of let us know what you like and don't like, So yeah, Anyways, onward with the tutorial. So Frogger, episode 1. I'm basically going to create a new project, just like we always do. And this first episode is going to be just like all the other first episodes I do. And that is probably going to bore most of you because it's just the setup. And the way that we're going to do Frogger is we're basically going to be doing it the old like Atari 2600 style. So the graphics are very basic. There's nothing crazy cool about these graphics. They're basically one color. Well, the graphics are different colors, but like for instance, Frogger is only green. The grass is only green. The water is only blue. There are no shades. There are no pixel oh man, yeah, it's gonna be very, very simple. So here we go. The first thing I think we want to do is I'm gonna set this camera up, and I already know these values because I already played with them so much. So I'm gonna go with 7.1 for the camera size. I'm gonna zoom out here a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and just take this scene panel and attach it to where the other ones are so that we get a full view here and we don't really have to look at the game view at the very moment. So here's our camera. We got a size of 7.1. The clipping planes are fine at 0.3 and 1000. They don't even matter. We can allow HDR. We can leave that checked. That's cool. We're going to want to change the background to black because I said so. We're changing the background to black. So then the other thing we're going to want to do is we're going to set the Y to negative 0.1. And that's just because where we're going to be placing all the other things. So along with this tutorial, I'll have a link to download the assets. Okay. Oh, and one more thing, if you guys didn't get this in my previous video, I'm going forward with all of my tutorials, every single episode that gets uploaded. The project that we work on throughout that episode, I'm going to save that, I'm going to archive it, and I'm going to upload it to Patreon. And those of you who are subscribed to my Patreon as a pledge, minimum is $5, you can then go there and get this week's project. And you'll be able to start from there, or you can see what we've done, you can compare it to yours, that kind of thing. So anyways, moving on, here are the assets. I'm going to go ahead and create a graphics folder, like I always do, for the graphics. Alright, and then we're going to take all of the graphics from the assets, and we're going to throw that into that folder. Okay, so here are all of our graphics files. For now, we're going to have a few more, such as logs and the player character and some lily pads and some other things. But for now, let's go ahead and select all of these. And we're going to change the pixels per unit from 100 to 16. And we're going to change the filter mode to point, which basically disables anti-aliasing, so that we have nice, crisp, clean pixels. Because that's what we're working with. We're working with an older style game that didn't have anti-aliasing. So the first thing we'll place is we'll drag the water into the scene. And we're going to position that at x0 and y, let's see, where did I put that? Y3. Okay, so here's the water. And let's see here. We'll do the grass top and bottom, which I don't even know if this is grass. This is probably more like sand. But anyways, we'll do 2 of them. Alright, so this one will be at 0 and 0, actually. And this one will be at 0 and -6. Alright, let's do the... Let's do the bottom border. So we got a bottom border here. We're going to drag that in. And that is going to set at x0 and y -7.25. 0.25. Alright, and let's do the top border next. Alright, and that one is going to be at 0 and 6.25. Okay, and let's see what we got next here. The border V, that'll be the border, the vertical border. There's one on the left and one on the right. And those are going to sit at x equals -9 and y equals 0. And then the other one is going to be at x9 and y0. Okay, and one more thing I want to do to these is I want to set the order and layer, and I'm going to put that at 10 because I want to make sure that they are above everything else. And the reason for that is not extremely apparent at the very moment, but once we have like logs going through the screen and traffic at the very bottom here, we're going to want those things when they go off screen to go behind these green bars here, okay, and not above them because that would look weird. So we're going to go behind them. All right. So now if we look at what this looks like in the game view, we'll see that here's our black street, and that's where the cars are going to be. Frogger's going to start out here. He's going to go bing, 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 bing here. And then we're going to have logs and lily pads over here, and then we need to fill these in, okay, because these are going to be where the Frogger actually goes to win. So we need to go back to our scene view, and we have these things called safe zones and these things called danger zones. So we're going to start with the safe zones, and we are going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to go ahead and tell you that they are going to be basically like here and here and here and here and here. Alright, so let's click on these individually and basically move them where they need to go. So we've got -7.5 and 6.25. They are all going to be 6.25 in the Y, by the way. Alright. -3.75 and 6.25. And then we'll have this one, which will be easy because that one's at 0 and 6.25. And then we have this one, which is going to be at 3.75 and 6.25. And finally, we will have 7.25 or 7.5 and 6.25. So you're probably wondering why we're putting these here and why we didn't just make the water longer. Well, the crazy thing is that the water is supposed to be like an object that if you touch it, you die, right? You fall in the water and you're dead. So by that logic, if this is also water, then and it's part of this and we touch it, then we would die instead of be safe. So we don't want to do that. We want to be safe. So these each will have their own kind of collision, so that, hey, this is a safe object, so I can land here. But we're not going to get into that just yet. Just know that this is why we did that. And for the same reason, we are going to also have danger zones, which are going to be these little rectangles here, and they're going to sit on top of each one of these. So we're going to need 4 of those danger zones. Should have called them death traps. So that's pretty much what they are. So this one will be at -5.625. And it'll be 6.125 in the Y. Alright, and then the second one will be -1.875. -1.875 and 6.125. And the next one will be 1.875, 1.875, and 6.125. And finally, we will put this one at 5.625 and 6.125. There. Okay. So that pretty much covers it. That is the setup. So if we go into game view now, it looks like we are ready to add our assets for playing the game, right? We've got pretty much everything loaded. The things that we still need to add are, we need some dots down here for lives, and we need a bar that basically counts down our time to live, because, you know, Frogger only has a certain amount of time to get from here to there, and if we exceed that time, we die. We lose a life, and then we start all over again. So that is pretty much it for the first episode. I don't know. Let's see, yeah, we're already like 17 minutes in, so like I said before, I'm going to try to keep these episodes a little shorter, which may mean I may talk a little faster. Let's do something that we should always be doing anyways. I'm going to save this scene. So we're going to just go File, actually here, Unity, and we're going to save. So there we are. We are done with the first episode. That was quick. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you don't feel like sitting through this and actually creating all of the setup portion of the project, then you are free to go to Patreon and become a patron, and you will be able to download this file. Coffee. So, down to business. Subscribe to my channel or else. Don't watch my channel and just leave. Subscribe. It's not going to kill you. It actually will not, because I know for a fact that clicking on the subscribe button does nothing. It doesn't like impact your health negatively in any way whatsoever. And if you really want to be daring and know that this will also not affect your health, you can click the subscribe button, and then you can also click on the bell for receiving actual notifications so that you know when I upload new things. How cool is that? You actually get notifications if you click that button. That's all you got to do. And then you'll be able to be one of the first people to see my new content, which is awesome. I like being the first of things, and also the last. So, subscribe. Tell everybody you know about the Weekly Coder. And don't forget, there's a new channel for you guys to check out. Subscribe to that too. I know. I want you guys to subscribe to everything. Soon, there will be a third channel, and I'll want you guys to subscribe to that too. Soon, all of your subscriptions are just going to be to all of my channels and no one else's. That's my ultimate plan. I'm going to take over YouTube. I'm going to tune in next time for another episode of the Weekly Coder. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell for notifications, and check out the new channel. The link is down below. Check it out. Come see us today and tell me what you think about the new channel. It's going to be great. Hope to see you guys there. Have a great weekend. I will see you guys next week.